We in the underworld for real. Look at this shit, bro. We in the fucking underworld, bro, for real, bro. We in the underworld, bro. And then 50% is underworld.
It's IaMigooo! Back with another one, and oh man, there is a zombie apocalypse going on in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia on Kesington Avenue, also known as the Underworld. The name Underworld is the perfect name for this place as it looks like something out of hell. I can already see the three-headed dog Cerberus guarding this area. The person who gave it this name is a rapper called Skrilla, who is originally from Kensington and even has a mixtape called Underworld. He has claimed to have made over $1 million off the fiends here referred to as the zombies, hence why it's the city of zombies. He also has a video called Underworld Bulls, and just look at this shit. This shit looks like a horror movie. Because of how graphic his videos are and how many fiends are in it, I personally believe this nigga's not capping and has indeed made a mill from serving to the Underworld zombies. This video in particular is 90% fiends, 10% shooters. Not just this one, though no. In most of his videos, I see more junkies than gang members. In these videos, the featured fiends can be seen dancing and smiling like they're one of the shooters or just showcasing their life. Like, look at the nigga in the wheelchair. It really amazes me in the worst way possible that something like this is even going on, as no joke his other videos are 60% junkies, 40% gang members. This is a Kensington thing, as a lot rappers do this in Kensington. For instance, another popular rapper that goes by the name of Oh, That's Ryder. His videos are the exact same where there is more fiends than shooters. I say shooters because when there is drugs, there is violence. It is inevitable to separate the two as if you look throughout time or even nowadays. Wherever there is drugs, there is some sort of beef or violence. Also, one of Skrillaman's that is a rapper that goes by the name of Johnny Esco said, Skrilla does the trapping and I do the shooting. The nigga said this live on camera, which is a wild statement and self-snitching at its finest. If it doesn't make it worse, Skrilla even mentioned the name of one of the niggas Johnny Esco killed, once again on camera. So people in Kensington are dying to violence, but way more people in Kensington are dying from drugs than to violence, which makes sense as from 1999 to 2019, over 450,000 people lost their life due to overdoses in Kensington. Now that is a lot of fucking bodies in the space of 20 years. It has only gotten worse as the more I look around Kensington. The more I see how this place really is the underworld, where soulless beings are seen walking around or stuck in the mud, completely paralyzed, tweaking the fuck out. Not in any disrespect as they're all going through something, but when it comes to fent, trank, crack, or heroin, this is what snatches your soul away, leaving you constantly going around in circles, chasing the next high. Essentially soulless as your soul is now with the drug you are addicted on. That being said, it's sad to see a community like this in America, or anywhere, if I'm being honest. But of course, there is way worse places than this in the world. However, it's the fact that it's in America. Although it may be just the worst drug-infested place in America, America is still one of the most prestigious countries in the world. I would even put it as the most prestigious country in the world. However, with drugs being such a big thing in America, it could lower, as when Trank reached Kensington in 2006, the area was gradually getting worse and worse until 2021, where around 1,276 people died overdosing on Trank in Kensington that year alone. If you don't know what Trank is, I'm about to tell you because it's really a fucked up drug. Trank is short for a tranquilizer, and everyone knows what that means. This shit will leave you paralyzed, and it's not no normal tranquilizer. No. This tranquilizer is made for animals, not humans. Animals, it has xylazine in it, which is used to calm down or even paralyze, once again, animals. Not only that, it's also got fentanyl in it. I shouldn't need to explain what that is with fentanyl being such a big thing in the world right now. Especially in America, a lot of people are dying from fent and are looking out for it as it can misconstrued as something else in a lot of Class A drugs. So essentially, Trank is a mixture between something that takes down wild animals and fentanyl. Why niggas even do this shit blows my mind. But in Kensington, it has become the most used drug and is in fact the worst drug out of all the ones I have mentioned, leaving fiends in a trance almost paralyzed. As you can see, they don't have a clue what is going on. So many people in Kensington use Trank, and it has become quite a popular area due to Trank, as many people are posting this place all on social media like TikTok, Instagram, and even YouTube like myself. The difference is I'm not glorifying this bullshit, whereas some niggas are straight up laughing and terrorizing these people. Some people went as far as to set up cameras on Kensington Avenue at certain spots. These cameras are set up in heavily infested fiend locations to stream on YouTube, showcasing the day-to-day life of the fiends on the Kesington Avenue strip. No kidding, if you was to search up Kensington Avenue A live on YouTube, will come up showcasing the fiends' life's day in, day out. I say day in, day out because you have to remember, due to drugs, most of these people are homeless and are living on these same streets they do drugs on and are there from sunrise to sundown. They record in all the parts of Kensington where the fiends are predominantly located. However, there are still many more fiends located all around Kensington. In my personal opinion, this is wrong and is really sad, putting their life on showcase in real time. I say that because these people never wanted to be drug addicts and probably were normal people who used to live with loving parents, attended school, and was the same people saying, I am never going to end up like that. That unfortunately fell victim to drugs with it, most of the time being their own fault. But the price to pay to getting addicted is homelessness and stuck in a loop chasing the next high. People are getting entertainment off this. Watching this in real life, time of the loop of them waking up, chasing their next fix of. Essentially broken people with destroyed lives. It never used to be like this. Instead, there was just a lot of police. Brutality, as back in the early 1900s, Kensington was full of European immigrants from countries such as Ireland, Italy, and Germany, where it then became a divided community. The reason I use the term divided because the way the world works is people tend to stick with their own ethnic background. This is all propagated by the people that rule the world, as it's easier to conquer when people are fighting against each other instead of working as a team. Hence the saying, divide and conquer, which you may have heard, before which is in fact reality. At this time, Kensington was 90% white, with 70% foreign-born. However, after World War I finished in 1928, the unemployed rate increased in Kensington as companies was getting shut down left, right, and center. By 1935, many was left jobless, which led to the area itself falling apart as a community. The African American community then started to immigrate to Kensington, which was a terrible time as Kensington had already fell apart and was instantly seen as a threat to local community as there was not enough jobs in the area already. This caused the Kensington community to decline even more as there are more people who are culturally divided, with the whites living in Leather Town and the blacks would be living in the most neglected parts of Philadelphia, all trying to get jobs. Once it hit the 1960s, Kensington was classed a low-class area of whites and blacks. Once the 1970s hit, Kensington was getting more and more heavily infested with Class A drugs. It became the center of the Irish-American criminal underworld. The Irish would be the first to start trafficking drugs all through Kensington and ended up making a gang. This gang was called the K&A Gang. They would primarily distribute Class A drugs around Kensington and burgle houses. This happened for around 15 to 20 years as the K&A Gang would mostly leave by the late 90s, where the African Americans would take over and start to set up shop in the underworld. So it's been 50 years of drug abuse with large amounts of drugs being trafficked throughout Kensington, only getting worse as way more drugs has been created since the 1970s, which is why it is so populated with addicts now. For an example, just look around. It used to surprise me looking at these music videos as I thought they was just putting fiends in videos as some sort of trend. Little did I know they all do this because they're everywhere around the community in the streets, and it's near enough impossible to get them out the shot of the video. However, the future is looking brighter for Kensington. Although it's getting worse at the moment in terms of drugs and violence, on the flip side, more people are getting locked up for selling drugs and killings. This is due to technology catching everyone, as I mentioned before. There are even cameras on YouTube where you can see drug deals taking place. So imagine what the police have. With technology only getting stronger in the next 20 years, I can see Kensington getting better as people will be to more under control. For example, eye recognition is not yet a thing to public knowledge. However, I can see it being a thing in the next 20 years. The reason why this is so big is if you have been arrested before, you would be on the system, and with things like this, plus more cameras being set up, which more are already being set up all around the world day by day, the violence and drug trafficking will decrease not just in Kensington, but all around the world. Playing devil's advocate, there will definitely be more types of drugs created in the future, and with how influential and glorified the gangster life is now, more people are hopping into the streets. I hope this all makes sense and wish the best for all the zombies, hoping they do indeed find the vaccine. Once again, most of them never expected or wanted to be in the predicament they are in, which is sad, and my condolences go out to all that has passed away from using these drugs. It's been your boy IaMigooo, and I'm out.